God did not intervene when black women were being raped, if God did not intervene when Africans were being snatched from Africa, if God did not intervene when white male slave owners were practicing pedophilia on black children in slavery, if God didn't intervene when black men and women were being hung and babies cut out of our sisters' stomach, if God didn't intervene when the penises were castrated and the toes cut off in the slave master's name branded in your flesh, if God didn't intervene then, guess what? Why in the hell would God intervene now when those very same people have a trillion-dollar economy that they don't want to put to use to benefit their children? If God didn't intervene in slavery, God damn sure ain't going to intervene in the 21st century Holocaust. You on your own, and you will not get any divine assistance until you begin to give yourself your own assistance, because God only helps those who helps themselves.
Shalom, shalom, kindred. All praises to the Most High God of Israel, Yahweh, in the name of His Son, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh, meaning He exists, and Yahweh Shai, meaning He delivers. This is your brother Kazayan, coming at you today with a thought-provoking message. I saw this video earlier today, and the Most High put it on my spirit to say something. Now, I know most of you have probably seen this guy around. He does have a pretty large following. But as you can see by his title here, God is not coming to save black people. He is part of the problem. I'm not even going to delay. Let's go ahead and get into this. It's already hard enough for me to sit through 7 minutes of this blasphemy that he's talking. But let's do it.
If God did not intervene when black women were being raped, if God did not intervene when Africans were being snatched from Africa, if God did not intervene when white male slave owners were practicing pedophilia on black children in slavery, if God didn't intervene when black men and women were being hung and babies cut out of our sisters' stomach, if God didn't intervene when the penises were castrated and the toes cut off in the slave master's name branded in your flesh, if God didn't intervene then, guess what? Why in the hell would God intervene now when those very same people have a trillion-dollar economy that they don't want to put to use to benefit their children? If God didn't intervene in slavery, God damn sure ain't going to intervene in the 21st century Holocaust. You on your own, and you will not get any divine assistance until you begin to give yourself your own assistance, because God only helps those who helps themselves. We went.
All right. Now, just in that first minute, man, he had a lot to say, didn't he? Like, he is, first of all, let me tell you that he's using witchcraft. All right? He's using the art of, the subtle tongue. Okay? He's using the art of influencing your mind subliminally. Okay? That is witchcraft. Now, this man is studied. He has degrees. Not only that, but he came up in the church. He'll tell you that later on in the video. Okay? However, to give you a little background, this man subscribes to the religious ideology of Kemetism. His heart is in Egypt. This is why he is so lost. This fool just literally said we are on our own. God is not coming to rescue us. Let me take it back a couple seconds.
Until you begin to give yourself your own assistance, because God only helps those who helps themselves.
Bam. Well, that's the first lie. Right there. That's the first bold lie. As a matter of fact, that statement, God helps those who help themselves, is nowhere in the scriptures. As a matter of fact, the entire book speaks against that thought process. The entire Bible speaks against you thinking you can take control matters in your own hand and deliver yourself. And this is exactly what he is saying that you should be doing. He is scattering the sheep. Okay? I'm going to start with 1 Timothy 5:20. Let's start there. 1 Timothy 5:20. Because this guy actually needs to be rebuked, yo. He has a big problem. Listen to what this says. Them that sin rebuke before all, that others also may fear. You see that? The Most High is telling you to rebuke these people in front of everyone. What he's doing is very, very dangerous. You follow this man, you're going to jump right off a cliff. Alright? Now what did he say? He said, God is not coming to save you. You need to help yourself. Hey, there is a million scriptures in the book that tells you to wait on the Lord. So this man, he talks a good game, but his heart's not in the right place, man. This dude is wicked, and he's attempting to teach everyone else to be wicked. This is a fact. All right. Now we can run the list. Matter of fact, let's start. Let's just go ahead and run the list, man. Let me see. I'm gonna go ahead. Let's start in Psalms. Psalms is a great book. I would probably suggest you all, pull your Bibles out and roll with me, because let me show you something. What does it say right here? Psalms 27:14. Well, let's start at 12. All right. What does it say? Deliver me not over unto the will of mine enemies, for false witnesses are risen up against me, and such as breathe out cruelty. I had fainted, unless I had believed to see the goodness of Yahweh in the land of the living. Wait on the Lord. When you see capital Lord, that is actually God's true name, Yahweh. It's not Jehovah, it's Yahweh. But look at Psalms 27:14. Clearly it says, wait on the Lord, be of good courage, and he shall strengthen thine heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord. Now what is this man telling you to do? He's literally telling you to get up, do your own thing. Don't worry about the Lord. The Lord ain't tripping. He ain't coming to save you. He's going to wait until you do for yourself to save you. Right? That's what he's saying. But think about it. Like, think of his logic. This is why the Most High says that, let me go ahead and get it. The wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High. This is this guy. Here we go. Listen. Now this guy claims to have the wisdom. He claims to be the man that has the answers. Right? Look at 1 Corinthians 3. It says, "For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God. For it is written, He taketh the wise in their own craftiness." Okay? Now here this guy is speaking as if he has true wisdom. But he is telling you things that are not even in the book. How is that wisdom? How is that wisdom? Psalms 27:14 told you to wait on the Lord, man. Wait. And he's telling you, don't wait. Ain't no Lord coming to save you. Well, let's roll down to Psalms 37. Let's see what Psalms 37 has to say. Because this guy, man, he's way out of order. Psalms 37:7. Check this out. Psalms 37:7 reads, "Rest in the Lord, and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass." You see that? Now let's just chop that up a little bit. First of all, David is telling you, hey, wait. Is this David? Let me go back outside. Yep, a Psalm of David. See right there? A Psalm of David. "Fret not thyself because of evildoers." 37:1. "Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity." See, the conversation that's going on right now is happening because the country is on fire. Okay? The Holy Spirit has been put on these people to be unrestful. Alright? Remember, the Most High controls everything. The right hand side and the left hand side. So when people come telling you that God is not the cause of all this turmoil that's happening in the streets, don't believe that. Don't believe that. God is making that happen. Okay? He's making that happen. Why would God make that happen? Why would God have people looting the streets? Well, first of all, when you attempt to understand God in the way he thinks, that is straight up foolishness. Okay? The thoughts of the Most High are as high as the heavens. We can't search them out. So we can't search out God's thought process. But he did give us a book to follow and prophets that came before us for learning in the times of today. Okay? Look at there's a lot of nuggets right here in 37, man. Let me just see. All right? Let's just read through here real quick. Now, what does this say right here? Verse 2 says, "For they shall soon be cut down like the grass, and wither as the green herb. Trust in the Lord and do good, so shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed." Alright? Jump down to 5. "Commit thy way unto the Lord, trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass." This guy is completely wicked. Verse 7. "Rest in the Lord, and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass." Who is the man that brings wicked devices to pass? The wicked man. Esau, Edom. The so-called white man. If you can't see that, pay attention to what's going on outside all over the country. All of this was sparked off by a group of 4 wicked men. Okay? That's how this happened. Now look at verse 8. "Cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil." Those people that are out there doing their thing, God got them doing their thing. Alright? He's going to judge them. 2/3 of our people are slated to be put to death anyway. But the ones that are following God's orders, the ones that are following his laws and commandments, What are they doing? They're diligently searching out this book to find out what is the next step. And right now, we are waiting on the Lord. Okay? That's what we're doing. We're waiting on the Lord. Verse 8, cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil. Check out verse 9 though. For evildoers shall be cut off. But those that wait upon the Lord, what? Those that wait upon the Lord shall inherit the earth. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Yea, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. So he's all riled up about what's going on out there, and he's complaining that we ain't doing enough to do for ourselves, as if this system we have control over. This guy really doesn't get it. Let's go over to Psalms 40. I mean, wait on the Lord. It's all over the Bible. It's all over the place. Psalms 40, the chief musician, a psalm of David. I waited patiently for the Lord, and he inclined unto me and heard my cry. Waiting on the Lord, right? This is what we doing. We waiting on the Lord. Waiting on the Lord. Now, what is this guy talking about? Huh? What is he talking about?
Assistance until you begin to give yourself your own assistance, because God only helps those who helps themselves.
Right. Let's address that. Now, first of all, God helps those who help themselves is nowhere in the Bible. So what is he talking about? Is he claiming to understand how God works? Is he quoting a scripture that doesn't exist? Yes, he is. I tell you where that come from, okay? You can do your own research on this, but that quote comes from the Greeks. It comes from Aesop's fable. See, let me see. We did this in high school. It was required reading in high school to read Aesop's fables. All right? This saying does not come out of the Bible. It comes from the Greeks, Alexander's people. And what did the Bible say about Alexander? Okay, let's go there, because we're talking about Aesop, right? We're talking about Aesop's fables, right? Where can I find information on Alexander? I believe it's First Maccabees. Yep, here we go. Now, remember, well, let me just read it. Let's see what the Most High says. Let's see what the prophets of the Most High say. Verse 1. And it happened, after that, Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, the king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece. Right? This doesn't mean that Alexander was the first one to ever reign over Greece. It means that he was the first of his people to reign over the land of what we call Greece today. But our people were ruling in Greece before Alexander came. Okay? And look at what it says. He made many wars and won many strongholds. Verse 2. And slew the kings of the earth, and went through to the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up. All right, we talking about Alexander the Great. This is why the Caucasian people tout Alexander so much, because in their lifetime, he was greater than any other king that they've ever known. And that is because they know that King David belongs to us. Now think about that. These people will talk about King David as if they are of his stock, as if King David is of Alexander's seed line, or the seed line of Edom, not of Jacob. But they will claim him like they claim everything else, right? They go out. These Caucasians, they go out through the world, and they claim other people's heritages and lands and resources. They claim other people's history. I saw a meme not too long ago. It says that, man, the white man is everywhere in history. He's everybody in history. He's the Egyptian, right? He's the Egyptian. He's the damn Indian. He's the damn Greek, you know? He's the Roman, which he is. Yo, this dude is claiming everybody's history. He's a liar. That's why. All right? Let me scroll down. Let's go to 7. Oh, no, wait. Let's go to 4. First Maccabees 1 and 4. And he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations and kings who became tributaries unto him. So basically, he locked down a great part of the ancient world, destroyed all the kings, and made them pay gold, silver, copper, wood, trees, bricks, people. He made those. That's what tributary is. Tributary is payment. All right. Verse 5. And after these things he fell sick and perceived that he would die. Now, think about this, okay? Because Alexander the Great didn't reign long. Alexander is not an Israelite. And the Most High only cares for his people, which are the Israelites. So you have to ask yourself, why did the Most High put a man like Alexander into power to rule over these places? Well, because we were screwing up. We were sinning. And we paid a price for sinning against our God. That is why when they were castrating our men and cutting our penises off, he didn't help us. That is why when they were ripping the babies out of our women's stomachs and smashing their heads against the stone, he didn't help us. That is why when the damn devil took us into slavery, plucked us out from our land, and shipped us all across the world to other nations and sold us, he didn't help us. Because he turned his face away from us because we had sinned against him. See, he left that part out conveniently. Right? That's a convenient omission. It's the only way he can get his point across. See, when in one tongue he'll talk as if he understands the Bible, and on the other tongue he'll talk as if the Bible is false. If a book is false, there's no reason for you to tout it. Okay? Yes, books have information in them. But the truth of the matter is that this guy is not looking for the information. He's looking for the holes so he can convince you that this book is false. Why? So you can get out there and jump right back into sin, not waiting on the Most High like he told you to. All right? So look at it, verse 5. And after these things he fell sick and perceived that he would die. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive. So you see that? So Alexander what? Alexander was about to die, and he was like, let me call up my homies because I don't want this kingdom to go back to the people that it belonged to. All of this is a part of the Most High's plan. So what did he do? He called his homies, and then let's see what happens in 7. So Alexander reigned 12 years, and then he died. You see that? 12 years, and then it was over. And his servants bare rule, everyone in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them, many years. And evils were multiplied in the earth. Do you see that? Now, we can read this Bible and we can like literally go straight to the secular history and find that all of this is fact according to secular history. So when people say the Bible is not true, what is this? What is this? If the Bible is not true, who the hell is Alexander here? If the Bible is not true, why does this people called the Caucasian man, who is truly the wicked, why do they hold Alexander up as their beacon, as their Superman? You see? Verse 10. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been a hostage at Rome, and he reigned 137 years in the kingdom of the Greeks. Okay? Now look what it says right here. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men. That's verse 11. Who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. Now, the Most High sent Alexander the Great on that land because of wicked men in Israel. And then here we go again. Here we go again. Verse 11. The Most High is telling you, in those days, in the days that Antiochus ruled, wicked men came out of Israel. Why? Because they wanted to do what the Greeks were doing. They wanted to be like the Greeks. The Most High said, be ye holy and separate. That's what holy means. It means separate. But these guys, what do they say? Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. What? Hold up. First of all, you're already under a contract. That's what a covenant is. You're already under a contract with a true God. But yet, you want to make a covenant with the heathen. Like you literally know they're heathens, and you are not, and you're trying to be a heathen. That's what this guy is. He's a heathen. Straight up and down. Look at his face. He has nothing but contempt for the God of Israel. This is why he's talking what he's talking. But we about to shut all this down. We about to shut all of this down. This guy disgusts me straight up and down. Psalms 40:1. I waited patiently for the Lord, and he inclined unto me and heard my cry. Don't wait patiently if you don't want to. He ain't gonna hear you. That's why he ain't being listened to. Because he's not even waiting patiently. I told you, this is all over the Bible. Let me just pick a place. Let's head over to Lamentations 3. Let's see. All right. Let's read 24 and 25. Lamentations 3 and 24. The Lord is my portion, saith my soul. Therefore will I hope in him. The Lord is good unto them that wait for him, to the soul that seeketh him. It is good that a man should both hope and quietly wait for the salvation of the Lord. Look at that. Look at what that says. Lamentations 3, 24 through 26. The Lord is my portion, saith my soul. Therefore will I hope in him. So when you see all of this going on outside, don't get involved with that. Don't get involved with that situation. It is not for the elect. It is not for the people that are following God's will. Well, again, I misspoke. The elect are not going to be involved in that situation. Put it that way. Okay? The Most High is going to protect the elect. That's what he said. So 25 says, the Lord is good unto them that wait on him. What is this man telling you to do? Don't wait. Ain't no God coming to save you. Do for yourself. 26. It is good that a man should both hope and quietly wait for the salvation of the Lord. Wow. See? And he's telling you that Aesop, what Aesop said, he's trying to tell you that that came out of the Bible. What did Aesop say? He said, "Tut, man, don't just sprawl there. Get up and put your shoulder on the wheel. The gods help them that help themselves." That's what Aesop said. So when people say God helps them to help themselves, you can tell that you know that they don't read the Bible. Because that's a quick Google search, I'm pretty sure, and you will find that it's not in the book. So what the hell is he talking about? He's full of hot air. Aesop's fables came from the time of the Greeks, Antiochus's people, Alexander's people, and we know that they hated us. That's why they killed us. They are the heathen. He is quoting a heathen as if it comes out of the book of the prophets, out of the book of the Most High. Now you see why I'm so disgusted with this man's, with his speech. Luke. Luke 21. Look at this. It's all red. Look at this. Let's start at 16. And we're going to go down to 19. Luke 21:16. And ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinsfolks and friends. And some of you shall they cause to be put to death. You see that? This man talking crazy. He's our brethren, right? He's one of our people. He's our kinsfolk. And he's going to cause some of you to be put to death because you're listening to what he says. This dude's off his rocker, man. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. But there, verse 18, but there shall not any hair of your head perish. Why? In your patience possess ye your souls. You see? Again, the Most High is telling you, well, right here, this is red, so this is Yahweh Shah talking. And of course, he is the hand of the Most High. So this is the Most High's words. He's telling you, in your patience possess ye your souls. This guy's telling you, get up off your ass and do something for yourself right now. God helps those who help themselves. Well, if that line that people ascribe to the Bible comes from Aesop, and these were Greeks, we know the Greeks had multiple gods. Right? That's why he said, the gods help them that help themselves. God ain't told us to do that. Our God, the true God, the God of Israel, he never said anything like that. He's preaching the complete opposite. Alright? The complete opposite. In your patience, possess ye your souls. So take it easy. Kick back. Study this book while you got the time. Alright? This is why people don't know what the hell is going on. This is why people fall for the trap of smooth, buttery words like this guy is talking. You gotta be kidding me, man. Let me see, man. This is all over the book, man. Let's hit Romans. See, we in the New Testament now, so let's go to Romans. Let me see. Let's go to Romans 8. Let's go to Romans 8, 25. Let's start at 24. 8 and 24. Wait. 24, 25. Okay. Romans 8, 24. For we are saved by hope. By hope that is seen is not, but hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man seeth, why doth he yet hope for? You see? Do you understand that? That's literally saying that for we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is really not hope, right? So if you can get out there and make things happen for yourself, that's not hope. If you can do things for yourself, why would you need God? You see? And this man says that God helps those who help themselves, right? But if you could help yourself, you would not need God. I mean, is this a basic crash course in critical thinking or what? This man is supposed to be an intelligent black man. And he speaks with a forked tongue. God help those who help themselves. Well, if you could help yourself, you wouldn't need God, right? I mean, that would be the logical thing to assume. Look at 25. But if we hope for that what we see not, then do we with patience wait for it? Well, that's not a question, that's a statement. Then do we with patience wait for it? So, the things that we hope for and don't see, that's what we wait for. That is what increases your faith and patience. Think about it. You got children? Do you allow your children to tell you, hey, wake up the first thing in the morning, Dad, Mom, I want some cereal and I want it right now? You'll look at that kid like, yo, you must have woke up and lost your damn head. You be ready to knock your little kid head off. Why would you allow your child to run your home? As the adult, now you no longer have control over your house. It's the same thing that this man is telling us to do. He's telling us to demand what we want right now. Because our parent, our God, already told us to wait. Wait patiently on me. I will rise up against the prey. Just chill out and wait. But this man is saying, nah, I want cereal and I want it right now. That's how he's talking to God. That's what he's telling you to. That's how he's telling you to speak to God. You would not allow that from your children. Like I said, this can happen all day. Colossians. Let's go Colossians 1. All right, what does it say? Paul, in Colossians 1, Paul, an apostle of Yahushua HaMashiach. I really hate saying that J name, so I'm going to really try not to say it, you know. Paul, an apostle of Yahushua HaMashiach, by the will of God. Let's see. 9. Colossians 1:9. Let's just see what happens. For this cause we also, since the day we heard it, do not cease to pray for you, and to desire that ye might be filled with the knowledge of his will in all wisdom and spiritual understanding. See, first of all, this guy is talking, and it's clear he has no spiritual understanding at all. This man is not spiritual. Because if he was, he would have much more patience and diligence about his work. But he is carnal, not spiritual. Any man that will tell you to disregard God and no deity is coming to save you, well, you know, you believe in the deities of Egypt, and they ain't never got up off their stool. You know, look at Abraham's dad, Terah, was making gods left and right. They never got up and walked and ate, and Abraham knew that, and so did Terah. But Terah still put his faith in them. Just like this man. He's putting his faith in himself. He thinks that he's God. Verse 10. Let's go down to 12. Verse 10. Colossians 1:10. That ye might walk worthy of the Lord unto all pleasing, being fruitful in every good work, and increasing in knowledge of God. This guy is telling you, this man right here is telling you, God is not coming down to save the blacks. That's what he says. Here, this is telling you right here, verse 10, increasing in the knowledge of God. Well, if he had increased in the knowledge of God, he would know that God told him to wait. Wait on God. Wait on me, and I will come and rescue you. 11. Strengthen with all might, according to his glorious power, unto all patience and long suffering with joyfulness, giving thanks unto the Father, which hath made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints in light, who hath delivered us, 13, who hath delivered us from the power of darkness, and hath translated us into the kingdom of his dear Son. Now, how you going to get all of this if you don't obey what he says? Your child got a birthday coming up. You tell your child, you better get good grades, you better do your chores, I don't want to see your nasty room, don't even turn on that PlayStation until you finish your homework, help your mom around the house, blah, blah, blah. If your child don't do that, he can't expect gifts. He can't expect you to give him what he wants and ask for. Why? Because that is not discipline. Right now, we are under, well, our punishment is over. Our punishment is wrapping up. And at the end, you'll have guys like this trying to get you to throw away your crown. We're at the end, man. We're at the end, kindred. That's why things are happening the way they're happening now, because we are at the end. And here comes the devil trying to take away your crown. Looking just like you, talking just like you, but full of deceit and deception. The very definition of a devil, a deceiver. All right? I told you we can do this all damn day. 1 Timothy. What does it say? For we brought, starting at 7, for we brought nothing in this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out. Huh? If you could help yourself, you would be able to do these things. If you were God or goddess, you would be able to do these things, which is one of the reasons I do not cater to women who follow that goddess mentality. Your understanding of goddess, if your understanding of goddess is that you create life, you can bring life into the world, therefore that makes you a god, then you are falsely mistaken. Because without a man, you can't bring life into the world. Right then and there, that takes away your goddess status. We don't even have to go beyond that. Just a mere thought of you thinking as a female that you are a goddess is simple blasphemy. It's that whole idea is rooted in self-worship. Y'all better be careful. Verse 8. And having food and raiment, let us be therewith content. But they, let's do this. Let me highlight these so y'all can follow. Verse 9. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. What? But they that will be rich. What did this guy say in the beginning? He was literally talking about how the nation has $3 trillion worth of whatever, and they won't even use it. Why do you think they won't use it? These people don't even care about their own kind. Right now, you can look this up. Right now, this whole COVID thing that happened across the earth, it's forcing the largest transfer in wealth ever in history. Ever. Let me see if I can go ahead and touch on that real quick. Largest transfer of wealth. COVID. Let's see what happens. Look at that. May 6. While the pandemic ravages American workers, the federal government has orchestrated a monumental transfer of wealth from the bottom of the economic ladder to the top. You see that? Pandemic likely to accelerate great wealth transfer. No information is available for this page. This is financial advisor IQ. You see? These people are completely wicked, man. Jim Cramer, CNBC, 2 days ago. Today is Saturday, June 6th. The pandemic led to, quote, one of the greatest wealth transfers in history, end quote. The coronavirus has changed money forever. On the top of the economic records being sent and monetary policy barriers being broken. There you go. No need to read any more of that. Wealth transfer strategies amid COVID-19 outbreak. One of the greatest wealth transfers in history. Stocks have plummeted, blah, blah, blah. Wealth transfer planning in the face of novel coronavirus. COVID-19 intergenerational wealth transfer. You see? And what is this guy telling you to do? They got, well, let's just use his own words. I'm not going to quote this dude. He's going to use his own words.
A trillion dollar economy that they don't want to put to use to benefit their children.
Pause. He said they got a $1 trillion economy that they don't want to put to use for their children. So if they don't put it to use for their children, what in hell make you think they're going to put it to use for us? What are you suggesting, man? Are you suggesting we go out there and take the wealth from them? How's that going to happen? These guys got tanks rolling down the middle of streets in New York. What the hell you going to do? This guy's a clown. All day long we can hammer this out. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many, many sorrows. You see that? With many sorrows, chasing money. This money is worthless. They're telling you right now that they don't intend for the people on the lower rings to keep money. The only reason we have money now is so we can care for ourselves, so they don't actually have to tend to the slaves. But they ain't going to give you enough. They'll give you enough just to make your food, just to barely pay your rent and utilities. And after that, your ass is broke, waiting on the next 2 weeks to get your money. That's the system. And now that they're transferring the wealth, if you were already living paycheck to paycheck, what the hell you think is going to happen now? They just transferred the wealth from you all the way to the top. I read somewhere they just made 20,000 new millionaires. What you guys talking about?
God didn't intervene in slavery. God damn sure ain't going to intervene in the 21st century Holocaust. You on your own, and you will not get any divine assistance until you begin to give yourself your own assistance, because God only helps those who helps themselves. We went through 2.5 centuries of that slavery. We've been going through 4 centuries of white supremacy. God ain't coming. I'm saying this to say we have to stop relying on supreme divine intervention to...
Goodness. Like literally, my blood is boiling right now.
Supremacy. God ain't coming. I'm saying this to say we have to stop relying on supreme divine intervention to solve our problems when we have the ability to solve those problems ourselves. Let me say it again. We have to stop relying on supreme divine intervention to solve our problems when we have the ability to solve them ourselves. Can I give you some examples?
Wait. Don't give us no examples yet, because I'm going to address your bullshit before we even move on. Excuse my language. He said we got to stop waiting on divine intervention, when we have the power to change the things ourselves? How? If we had the power to change what's happening to our people for the last 400 years, do you think we would have done it by now? If we've been in servitude and slavery for 400 years, for a half a millennium, that's a millennium, right? 1,000 years, right? I think. Anyway, if we had the power to do that, why the hell are we still asking these people to stop killing us? Why are we still begging the police officers to stop shooting our black men and black women in the streets? If we had the power to change this, why is it that the military can be mobilized and run you off the block? If we had the power to change this, brother, why hasn't it happened yet? Do you think that we want to stay here? I mean, we are intelligent, right? You Kemet cats, you cats that swear by Egyptology, know for a fact that, quote unquote, black people are the supreme race on the earth. So why isn't that the supreme race can't get from under the recessive race? Why is that? You don't have no answers for that. You don't have a damn answer for that. Shit is sickening, man. Let's go over to Hebrews. Chop this dude to shreds, man. I'm really sick of watching this guy. Hebrews 6:11. And we desire that every one of you do show the same diligence to the full assurance of hope unto the end. This dude's talking like, yo, ain't nobody gonna come and save you? Right, because we waiting on the end. This ain't the end. I mean, we getting close to the end. But when we get there, you're gonna see that salvation. Verse 12. That ye be not slothful, but followers of them who through faith and patience inherit the promise. Through what? Through faith and patience. Verse 12. The Most High is literally telling you right here. But followers of them who through faith and patience inherit the promises. What are the promises? Rulership over the world. The heathen as your slaves. You know, your new body, your godlike body, being able to rule as co-inheritors of the world with Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, our big brother. If you're not patient, if you decide to skirt past big brother and take rulership on your own, you ain't doing nothing but setting your own self up for failure. Verse 13. For when God made promises to Abraham, because he could swear by no greater, he swore by himself. Not Abraham. Abraham didn't swear by himself. This says that God. It says, for when God made promises to Abraham, because he could not swear by no greater, he swore by himself. Saying what? 14. Surely, blessing, I will bless thee, and multiplying, I will multiply thee. Here it is, 15. And so, after he had patiently endured, he obtained the promise. There it is right there. 15. 15. And so, after he had patiently endured, he obtained the promise. Patiently endured. Is that hard to understand? This guy don't want you to endure. He wants you to get out there and make it happen right now. You see what I'm saying?
Let's take the school system. God, please fix the schools. Make the schools better for our children. God is not going to answer that because the science of prayer dictates. The science of prayer dictates God only intervenes and supplies you when you don't have the resources to supply yourself. So because black people had the resources to build your own schools for your own children, God is not going to fix the schools because you have the ability to fix them yourselves.
Okay. So his whole argument is rooted in the words of a Grecian. Not even an African, not even a Egyptian. His whole philosophy is rooted in the words of a Grecian who wrote fables, who wrote lies. Feel me? What did this dude just say? He said, God ain't going to help you to build your schools because you have the resources to do it yourself. Really? We don't own the land that the school sits on. We don't own the building, right? In this society, to build a school, to build anything, you got to go to them devils to get certifications, licenses, business licenses, building permits, fire permits, all kind of craziness. And this dude is saying you have the power to do all of that. Really? We don't have control over these things like this guy is suggesting. As a matter of fact, when we did have control, what did they do? They bombed us, killed us. They used their own military, their own air force, and they bombed us. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about? For the new ones out here, they may not know. America bombed Black Wall Street. They say that they call it the Tulsa Race Massacre, 1921. Took place May 31st and June 1st, 1921. When mobs of white residents attacked black residents and businesses in the Greenwood district in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Let's click on this one real quick. Let's get a quick history lesson from the History Channel and see how much truth they got to say. Tulsa's Black Wall Street flourished as a self-contained hub in early 1900s. This was our forefathers and foremothers fresh out of slavery. Didn't need anything from these damn devils. Built everything on our own. Right? Look at that. Before the Tulsa Race Massacre, where the city's black district of Greenwood was attacked by a white mob, resulting in 2 days of bloodshed and destruction, the area had been considered one of the most affluent African American communities in the United States for the early part of the 20th century. The massacre, which began May 31st, 1921, and left hundreds of black residents dead and 1,000 houses destroyed, often overshadows the history of the venerable black enclave itself. Greenwood District, with a population of 10,000 at that time, had thrived as the epicenter of African American business and culture, particularly on bustling Greenwood Avenue, commonly known as Black Wall Street. Wow, look what they say here. Developed on Indian territory. Why is that? Because the people that you call Indian are actually the Northern Tribe. They are our people also. Founded in 1906, Greenwood was developed on quote-unquote Indian territory. All of this is their land. All of this is our land. It ain't no Indian territory. The hell is wrong with y'all? The vast area where Native American tribes had been forced to relocate, which encompasses much of modern-day eastern Oklahoma. Some African Americans who had been former slaves of the tribes, you knew they had to throw that in there, and subsequently integrated into tribal communities, acquired allotted land in Greenwood through Dawes Act, a U.S. law that gave land to individual Native Americans. And many black sharecroppers, fleeing racial oppression, relocated to the region as well, in search of a better life post-Civil War. Look right here. The largest number of black townships after the Civil War were located in Oklahoma. Between 1865 and 1920, African Americans founded more than 50 black townships in the state. Whoa. Now you see where the jealousy came from. O.W. Gurley, a wealthy black landowner, purchased 40 acres of land in Tulsa, naming it Greenwood after the town in Mississippi. This is the intersection of Greenwood Avenue and Archer Street of Greenwood before the Tulsa Race Massacre. Look at that. They had everything, man. Built for black people, by black people. Quote, Gurley is credited with having the first black business in Greenwood in 1906, end quote, says Hannibal Johnson, author of Black Wall Street, From Riot to Renaissance in Tulsa's historic Greenwood district. He had a vision, quote, he had a vision to create something for black people by black people, end quote. Gurley started with a boarding house for African Americans. Then word began to spread out about opportunities for blacks in Greenwood, and they flocked to the district. Quote, O.W. Gurley would actually loan money to people who wanted to start businesses, end quote, says Chrissy Williams, vice chair of the African American Affairs Commission in Tulsa. They actually had a system where someone who wanted to own a business could get help in doing that, end quote. Now, let's just stop right there for a second. These people are said to be our people. These are our forefathers and foremothers right here in this land, our land, right? They made something so beautifully extravagant and totally bizarre to the Caucasian man, because see, the Caucasian man couldn't rise to this prominence on his own. He needed us to do it. So when we separate from them, things like this happen for us. Black Wall Street, Greenwood District. It enraged them so much that they had to destroy it. They had to destroy it. Okay? Let's get to that part. Greenwood became self-contained and reliant. We did not need to rely on the white man for anything. Look right here. Demands for equal rights were an ongoing mission for blacks in Tulsa despite Jim Crow oppression. Oh, but this man right here is telling us, hey, you need to get up and do it for yourself. You got the money, you got the talent, you got the time. God ain't gonna help you unless you get off your ass and do it for yourself. Well, here it is. We were doing it for ourselves. In Jim Crow oppression. You see? Greenwood itself had a railway track running through it that separated the black and white populations. Consequently, Gurley and Stafford's vision of having a self-contained and self-reliant black economy came to be not only by desire, but by logistics. There were luxury shops, restaurants, grocery stores, hotels, jewelry and clothing stores. That should be stores. Movie theaters, barbershops and salons, a library, pool halls, nightclubs, and offices for doctors, lawyers, and dentists. Greenwood also had its own school system, post office, a savings and loan bank, hospital, and bus and taxi service. There you go. That's Greenwood right there in a nutshell. That's everything that you need for a city to be a city and survive. That's everything you need. Greenwood was home for far less affluent African Americans as well. A significant number still worked in menial jobs such as janitors, dishwashers, porters, and domestics. The money they earned outside of Greenwood was spent within the district. That is the key. That is the key to success. You see that? Because see, that's what the white man is doing to us. People are upset because you got all of these people out there doing property damage, right? So the police is deployed not to control mayhem, but to protect property. Why? Because the property is what brings in wealth. This is why you have this is why you have all of these stores in our community. None of these stores in our, well, most of the stores in our community do not belong to us. 99% of the stores in our communities belong to the others. You see? And what do? We spend our money at the gas station. We spend our money at Kroger's. We spend our money at Walmart, CVS. We spend our money at AutoZone. We spend our money at Whole Foods. And this money leaves our community and goes straight to their community. Now in Greenwood, what did they say? Last sentence right here, top paragraph. The money they earned outside of Greenwood was spent within the district. That's how they were able to amass wealth. Taking the money from outside and make sure it only circulated inside. It is said within Greenwood, every dollar would change hands 19 times before it left the community. Right now, how many times does the dollar change hands today? Less than 1. Now look at this picture, man. This should break your heart. And this should wake you up to stop listening to people like this guy who's talking. This guy is his speech is vanity. Everything that he's doing is vanity. He's doing it for himself. And he wants you to jump off the edge with him. Look at this. This is Tulsa. A man with a camera looking at the skeletons of iron beds which rise above the ashes of a burned out block after the Tulsa race riot 1921. See that? That's what they did to us. Now, if this was in our control, if what he is saying is true and it was in our control, then this wouldn't have happened. We are under oppression because the Most High made it that way. Because why? Because we disrespected the covenant that we made with him. You violate a contract, there are penalties for it. Alright? Plain and simple. Violate your contract, you're going to have penalties. We violated our contract with our God, there were penalties. Where's this information? Deuteronomy 28. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God would do what? Set thee on high above all nations of the earth. Now, when I run across this word nations, of course they're not going to have it in here, but it's fine. When I run across this word nations, oh yeah, let me shout out to the brothers. I love the brothers' art, man. Okay, so this is what I did. This the brothers this was recently, and he put a verse. It says Luke 10:19. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the powers of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. And then, this is how the Holy Spirit works. And then I see this right here that says, it's a minted coin that says, don't tread on me. So I was like, wow. I was like, that was right on time. It was right on time. So I put this together and put it on my screen. So thanks, brothers out there, for the artwork. It's beautiful, and I appreciate it. Okay? But this is proof that these guys know who they are, and they know who we are. Why would they mint a coin with a snake on it saying, don't tread on me? Why would they do that? If they knew, if they did not know that they were the snake, then this is a wild coincidence. But it's impossible. I don't buy that for nothing. Because Luke 10:19 is clear. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents. And then this guy says, hey, don't tread on me, and then makes a coin of it. Come on, man. So again, thanks, brothers. I really do appreciate it. Now, so we was talking about that word nation, right? Let's go to the etymon of the word nation, so we can understand what the Most High is saying. Nation, a noun. Nation, a race of people. See? Nation, race of people. Tribe. What does it say right here? Breed, stock, kind, species. Again, race of people. You see? You see that? Descendants, relatives, country, homeland. I'm up here. And directly from Latin, nominative, birth, origin, breed. There we go. It's a race. Okay? So there's the Most High telling you right there. Right? He said that I will set thee on high above all races of the earth. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Your God, Israel. Not those fake Jews over there in the created land, the false Israel. Come on, man. That place is raggedy as hell over there. That place is so desolate. That place is so cursed that they need money to flow into it constantly just to give the illusion that they are the top of the world. You see? Blessed shalt thou be in the city. Blessed shalt thou be in the field. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Blessed shalt thou be thy basket in the store. See? This is what was going on. Blessed shalt thou be when thou comest in. Blessed shalt thou be when thou goest out. That is when you're born and when you die. The Lord shall cause thine enemies to rise up against thee, to be smitten before thy face. They shall come out against thee one way, and flee before thee 7 ways. Is this happening now? It's not happening now. Why? I'll tell you why. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. All these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. Cursed shalt thou basket. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy land, and the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in. Cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out. How were we going out in the past? He was just talking about we were enslaved for 400 years. Yeah, because we are cursed. Why? Simple. 15. We did not hearken unto the voice of the Lord our God, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded us to do. So he turned away from us, and he gave us over to the enemy. This man knows it, but he refuses to acknowledge it. Instead, he has contempt for God for doing that to us. And now he speaks against God. And he attached himself to a religion in Kemetism, in Egyptology. The very people that enslaved us in the beginning. So he went from hating the oppressor of today and loving the oppressor of the past when they are the same.
You only pray for that which is beyond your power to do. Harriet Tubman prayed, but she only prayed for things that were beyond her power to do. Queen Mother Harriet Tubman knew that it was within her ability to help rescue Africans. So she did not pray for Africans to be rescued. She did it herself. But what she did pray for was for God to give her protection while she was saving black folks.
Yo, first of all, how did he know what Harriet prayed for? Did Harriet know how to write? I don't think so. She had dreams, right? I think she was a dreamer. How did he know that Harriet did not? How did he know that Harriet had that mindset, the mindset that he has? Where's that recorded? Is he speculating? You see? You have to watch out. You have to watch out, man. Our people are wicked. We're not going to be able to save ourselves. That's the bottom line. All right, let's get some scripture. Okay? Let's get some scripture. Now, we understand, right? We understand why this happened. We understand why this happened. Okay? This happened because the Most High allowed it to happen. This happened to remind us that, hey, we aren't following the laws. We're still under punishment. And when he reminded us, what did he use? He used his sword to do it. And who is his sword? Let's get that before we move on and chop the rest of this guy up into small little mincing pieces, right? That might be enough. Crap. I think it's in Psalms, but I can't remember where. Sword. There we go right there. Psalms 17 and 13. Okay? Anytime the Most High has to correct Israel, correct us, or anyone, he uses his sword to do it. Now, let's read who his sword is. Psalms. Hold on. Let's come up here. This is a prayer of David. Let's get the gist of the whole thing, okay? A prayer of David. Hear the right, O Lord. Attend unto my cry. Give ear unto my prayer that goeth not out of feigned lips. When y'all have issues praying, when y'all can't think about what to say, open the book of Psalms and just recite this as your prayer. Okay? Some of the things, like I know for me, when I pray, sometimes things are running through my head so fast that it's hard for me to find the words to articulate what I'm really feeling. And I have to slow myself down and remember these scriptures. Okay? Verse 2. Let my sentence come forth from thy presence. Let thine eyes behold the things that are equal. Thou hast proved my heart. Thou hast visited me in the night. Thou hast tried me, and shalt find nothing. I am purposed that my mouth shall not transgress. You see? And this guy right here, he ain't doing nothing but transgressing with his mouth. Concerning the works of men, by the word of thy lips I have kept me from the paths of the destroyer. You see that? Hold up my goings. Hold up my goings in thy paths, that my footsteps slip not. See, David is praying that the Most High protects him in everything. I have called upon thee, verse 6. I have called upon thee, for thou wilt hear me. O God, incline thy ear unto me, and hear my speech. Show thy marvelous loving kindness. O thou that savest by the right hand. See that? The right hand. Them which put their trust in thee, from those that rise up against them. You see? Now, that guy is talking about these things are happening to us because you ain't getting up and doing it yourself. What did King David say? Put their trust in thee. Show thy marvelous loving kindness, O thou that savest by thy right hand. The right is indicative of righteousness. The left is indicative of unrighteousness or wickedness. When it was written that the Most High would separate the sheep from the goats, now we know that Yahweh Shah is the good shepherd, and the shepherd looks after the sheep. He doesn't look after the goats. He's coming to separate the sheep from the goats, placing the sheep on the right hand side and the goats on the left. Let's get that real quick, and I'm going to come back to Psalm 17. So I don't want to just quote scripture and not let you see it, okay? Because some people, I know some people, they'll chop this thing up right here and they'll say, "Oh, look at him, he quoting, but I don't see no scripture," right? Let's see. There we go. Matthew 25:33. Wait, let's start at let's start at 31 and let's go down to 33. All right? Now what does it say? When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, when we finish waiting, that's when. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. 32. And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from the other, one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. And then what is he going to do? And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on his left. Let's see if we can find something in a concordance about this left. Let's see what that's talking about. Okay? Left. Euonymos, Greek. It says properly well named, good omened, that is the left, which was the lucky side among the pagan Greeks. See? Among the pagan Greeks, the left was lucky. Why? Because they read out books and they already know that God put their ass on the left because they're wicked. And he put us on the right. So what did? They flipped everything upside down and right side up. Right? Didn't the Most High said that these devils would call good evil and evil good? Here we go. It's right here. They literally switched it up and said that the left is lucky. That's why they had to say to pagan Greeks. Alright? The left hand on the left, blah, 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 left. Okay. Well, let's see if we can find out what it says over here in the Etimon. I'm just curious. I don't think I've ever... Left adjective, sinister. There it is. Okay, let's start here. Left sense of opposite of right is from the left being usually the weaker hand, right? This is why David, what did David say in Psalm 17? He will deliver me with his right hand. Well, the left is normally considered the weaker hand. A derived sense also found in cognate, Middle Dutch, and Low German, whatever that is. All right, left, leftish, left hand. Look at this right here. Left hand, both from a root that yields words for twisted and crooked. Can't make that shit up, right? Both from a root that yields words for twisted and crooked. Does that not sound like the goats, right? Isn't Alexander considered the goat? Didn't the Most High say that he would separate the sheep from the goats, putting the sheep on the right and the goats on the left? Because the goats are twisted and crooked. They're twisted and crooked people. You know? What does it say underneath that? The usual Old English left-handed, literally friendlier, quote unquote, a euphemism used superstitiously to avoid invoking what? The unlucky forces connected with the left side. Compare sinister. Look at that. Now, I'm surprised that I even ran across this. They're afraid. They're so afraid to be labeled what they really are that they actually made a euphemism by calling it friendlier, so you won't invoke the superstitious used, so you won't, wait, I'm gonna read it again, my bad. It says left hand, literally, friendlier, a euphemism used superstitiously, you see, they into that superstition, to avoid invoking the unlucky forces connected with the left side. Now, what is the unlucky forces connected with the left side? That is God. You see, that is the left hand of God. They know that that's where they sit and that's where they belong. And they have no way of crossing over to the right hand side. So what do? They make up shit. That's what they do. Literally says they are afraid of invoking the unlucky forces connected with the left side. They are afraid that when their run is up, they get to go back on the bottom. That's compare sinister. Prompted by malice or ill will, intended to mislead. Sinistre, contrary, false, unfavorable, to the left. Wow. Left on the left side. There it is again. Of uncertain origin. You gotta laugh at that. Because they know, if they know all of this, they got to know where it came from. Right? Come on, let's be real. Perhaps meaning properly the slower or weaker hand. Connected with the root of Sanskrit. More useful, more advantageous. You see, okay, it's just them Indians over there with that Sanskrit, they're heathens also. That's why they said more useful. Now, why would the left hand be more useful to you unless you're into wickedness? More advantageous to you unless you're into wickedness. Wow, that's enough on that. So we already see that the left is for the crooked. The left is sinister, right? False, unfavorable, to the left. Now, wow, this is the Holy Spirit is active right now because nothing but scriptures just popping into my head. Unfavorable, contrary, false, unfavorable, to the left. Who is to the left? The wicked. Who is the wicked? The Caucasian man running the earth, the devil. He's the left. He's the goat. Right? Unfavorable.